Hello and welcome to this video. Today we are going to build a custom Copilot. This Copilot will be linked to a SharePoint site. Now that Copilot is everywhere, why should I use a custom Copilot? Well, you can use it if you have a very specific need in your business. Why? Because it is a tailored artificial intelligence solution. This solution will be designed to meet a specific need and requirement of your organization. If you have a specific set of data or documents that are focused on a business process in your organization, you can build a custom Copilot in order to help the users in the daily operations. When I say process, I am thinking about HR, GL, technical stuff, well, any kind of process that you can imagine. Having said that, let's see the elements that we will be using in this exercise. We will work here in the Copilot Studio. Here is where all the magic happens. We are gonna use our data source. I created the SharePoint site with some documents, technical information that I used every day, and an app registration. I already created this app registration in order to protect the information, and the Copilot is able to connect to our repositories, the SharePoint site, where the Copilot will fetch all the answers that I'm looking for. I already assigned 2 different URLs. These 2. I added the API permissions. This is a very important part. We need to have all these delegated permissions assigned to this app registration in order to be able to connect our Copilot in the different channels that we can. But what is delegated? Well, it is not more than the resulting permissions in the intersection between the users and the app's permissions. It means here I assigned permissions to this app, but the users already have to have permissions to use this kind of site, this information. If the user doesn't have access here, the connection will not be able. If the user have permissions here, but the app doesn't have permissions to read the documents, the communication won't happen, because that's the meaning of delegated, that intersection between privileges and permissions. Let's go now to the action. Hit new and let's create a Copilot. SharePoint Copilot. English is okay because my documents are in English. And here is where you can add the URL of the site that will work as your data source. For this exercise, we are gonna use this site. Let's assign it and create it. It will take a couple of minutes because it's getting everything ready for us. Now that we have everything here, we can see that we have the Copilot linked to our documents. If we go to the settings, generative AI, and look here, we can see that we have our site, and also it enables this information here. Now that we have this part built, we can start testing our Copilot. Let's ask something that could be found in the documents that I added. Let's see which kind of documents. We have AI documents, we have AI applications, we have integration services. Let's ask something about integration services that I think it will give me a good answer. Let's see. I'm asking, give me a general explanation or a big picture of the Azure integration services, because I just want to know what are these integration services in Azure. Okay, as you can see here, it gave me a lot of information. It gave me that we have the components as the IP management, the logic app, the Power Apps, the Azure Service Bus, but also you notice here we have the references in numbers, and the answer is linked to those references. For example, here, if I hit there, it sends me to the document that I'm working with. If I hit the number 1, it opens the other document where I can go and see the information. You can notice now that in just some steps we built a very powerful Copilot. It can give me a lot of answers if I ask more in the information. But where we can set up the security if we want to expose this Copilot? This is testing purposes. It's connected to my tools because it's using my credentials and etc. But if I want to use the Copilot in a different channel, I need to set up the security for this. So now we have to security. We hit authentication. In this case, since we want to use in different channels, we must use the manual because it will ask for login every time that we want to use it. The service provider should be Entra ID. The client ID comes from the app that we have here. And the secret and the scopes, everything is okay, everything looks good. Hit save, and wait for it. Now that we have the authentication configured, we can start using our Copilot. But first, we need to publish it. If we publish our Copilot, it validates everything that it's good in our Copilot. It has all the needed elements in order to work properly. Now that it's published, we can share the Copilot and also we can try the Copilot in a demo website. Let's hit here. And now, as I told you, since it is working with the security of delegated permissions, we need to log in first before we can use it. If not, if I try to add something here without the login, I will get errors like I don't have the answer, or like if Copilot couldn't fetch any information. So hit login, copy the value here, go back and paste the value. Now I'm in. I can start asking whatever I need from the Copilot. For example, we know that we have logic apps because we already asked that in the testing exercise. If I ask when I should use a logic app, well, the Copilot now is thinking. The way it works is it take this information and look for answers in the data source that we assign. In this case, the data source is that SharePoint site. And good, we got the answer from an external site. What if I want to link it to Teams? Well, it's very easy. If we go back to publish, we see here in this part that we have the different channels. We just need to enable this content in Teams or in any other channel here. For this purpose or for this exercise, I'm just enabling in the Teams part. Now that it's enabled, there are ways to share it. We are gonna just open directly here. We can share it with a link. We can download it as zip file and install it. Well, it depends on your organization security stuff. For this purpose, I'm gonna open directly here since I'm the owner of it. I don't have any issues with that. And just add it. And now the Copilot is ready. And again, it is asking me to log in because if I ask something here without login, then I don't have any answers. If I log in here, now it's logged and I can start using the same. Let's ask something. You know, we saw that there are some documents about artificial intelligence. So let's ask something about computer vision maybe. And same, we got the answers, we got the links, everything is working. And that ECU just created a Copilot to work with documents in our SharePoint. As you can see, it's a very simple but very powerful tool in order to help our end users in the daily operations. If you have any questions, if you have comments, or you just want to learn more, don't hesitate and shoot me a message. Here at Turnkey, we are always happy to help. Have a good rest of the day.